When someone is dead and gone, you know that it's actually final. You know that they're never coming back, no matter what. No matter how much you scream and cry, it is final. Anybody can say, I want to be a mom, I want to be a mom, I want to be a dad. But do you actually deserve that child? Do you actually deserve to be called mommy? Do you deserve to be called daddy? A little while ago, there were some videos circulating the internet of people expressing how losing a parent, specifically a mother, can change you as a human. It changes how you look at life, it changes the decisions you make, it changes how you start walking through life. And it's genuinely the worst thing that could happen to a person. And I couldn't agree more. In this video, I wanted to talk about the other side of grieving a parent, which is grieving a parent who is still alive. When we think about grief, we usually think about somebody who's gone, somebody who has passed on, they're no longer existing, you have no way of contacting them, you have no way of reaching out to them, and you would wish to hold them in your arms even one last time, to share a meal with them, a conversation with them, to go to their favorite places with them. But it's too late and it simply cannot happen. I cannot imagine grief to that point. Like, that has to be the most heartbreaking thing in the world. And I acknowledge that type of grief. The other type of grief that I think exists that people don't talk about a lot, actually, I haven't seen people talk about it that much, which I feel like it also needs to be talked about, is grieving a parent who is still alive. People who have parents who are alive, but you have been through so many tough times that were caused by them, so much emotional turmoil, so much depression and anxiety, just overall negative feelings that were caused by your parent, and you finally matured to realize that these people are not good for you. They don't wish you well. They shouldn't have been parents. They never wanted you in the first place. And they have treated you as such, as a mistake, an unwanted person, a person who should not be alive. And you had to distance yourself. You know, we know that every child needs a parent, but not every parent deserves a child. These are things that people don't think about a lot. They don't sit down to think that, as much as I want a child, would I actually be a good parent? Have I worked through my emotional traumas from my childhood, things that I have been bearing inside for years? Have I worked through those things? Kids come out into this world so innocently, needing someone to cling to, and it's always a parent, a mom or a dad, most especially a mom. But if they find that mom who has been holding on to emotional traumas, past childhood experiences that were not good for her, and she's been bearing them deep within, it is easy for a parent who hasn't taken the time to heal to give those negative emotions onto the child. Those are the kids who grow up to realize, oh my God, I never asked to be here. I didn't ask these people to give birth to me. I didn't beg anybody. I was brought here against my own will. I did not consent to this life. And yet somehow I'm met with these people who are mistreating me, calling me a mistake, and I'm supposed to just accept that? No, I must distance myself. And that can take you into a season of grief, where you have to grieve the parent you wish you had that you do not have. Especially if you're the person who has tried time and time again to create peace between you and your parents, but you realize that it's weighing you down emotionally and mentally. So the only way for you to survive is to actually distance yourself. I think that type of grief deserves recognition as well, because it is something so deep. When somebody is still alive and you're forced to grieve them, it's like it's almost like an annoyance, knowing that they're out there, they did you wrong, and they still are never reaching out to apologize, and knowing that they never will. Therefore, you have to grieve that it will just never happen. That is painful. They're not dead. They know you're alive somewhere, but they simply do not care. And they are the person who brought you into this world. I think that is so painful and so sad. And I feel like that is grief that, we also need our own little corner. When our friends on the other side are crying about their parents who are gone and out of this world, we also need to make our own little corner where we feel like We can talk about this in a safe space. Both groups are grieving on different levels, but it is grief at the end of the day. We're grieving a loss.